Good day, City Hainan. This is teacher Pinky Rose A. Oligo, and today's topic is about business plan. Being your own boss can be great, but there is a lot more that goes into starting a business plan you might think. Do you have any idea on how to write a business plan? Let's see. Before I begin, let us discuss the objectives of our lesson. First, we would need to learn and understand the sources of opportunities for business. Second, determine the parts of a business plan. And lastly, identify market problems and propose potential products or services that will meet the market needs. Now that you know the objectives of our lesson, let's just watch a short video.
Hey, how's business?
Terrible. I don't get it. My neighbor Jacob opened up a lemonade stand and he's been making tons of money.
Jen, he's like 5 years old.
And he's killing it. Gah!
Maybe there's something else you're good at?
Oh, what? Like I'm just supposed to sit back and wait for my next business venture to go walking by?
I know, sweetums. We'll have to get you cleaned up.
Ugh, this happens every time we go to Mud Park.
There it is. Quick, let's make a business plan.
What? No, come on. I'm not pitching this on TV. This is just a side thing.
Business plans aren't just for big companies. Even if you're just brainstorming, writing a business plan takes your idea and turns it into something you can act on.
Let's do it.
Okay, what is the business?
Dog wash.
Great. Now, how can you say that in a way that shows the value you're creating for people?
It's on the way home. People don't have to worry about getting their house and towels all dirty. And it saves them time.
Awesome. And how does it work?
It's a booth with a washing station, and owners pay me to wash and dry their dog's paws.
Great. Who's the team?
Oh, it's just me right now, but it would be cool to have a second dog washer and a cashier.
Sure. Down the road, you might add an advisor or someone who can help you with legal stuff and money stuff too.
Sweet. What is the market?
Yeah, where does this fit in? Who is it for? And are there enough potential customers to support a business?
Okay, so I'm looking at dog owners who live around here and who walk their dogs at Mud Park.
Lots of research here is good. You want to be an expert in your industry. Like, what percentage of dog walkers carry cash with them?
I have no idea, but I could find out, and that would help me decide which payment options to provide.
Exactly. Some stuff you'll learn along the way, but the more you know about your market, the better you can serve it. Who are your competitors?
No one. Ka-ching!
You can learn a lot by looking at other businesses, whether they're direct competitors, businesses that share your market, or even businesses in a completely different industry that inspire you. Researching the competition helps you identify the things that make your business better.
Yeah!
What's your market strategy? How do you grow your business, and what are the steps along the way?
Ooh, maybe like start with one booth and test it out to get some feedback. I could advertise it at the pet store and the puppy school, then I'd upgrade my booth so I can move it around to clean more dogs and make more money.
And what are the numbers? You don't have revenue yet, but you can still think about your costs and your pricing.
Ah,
And lastly, what do you need?
tubs, a water source, doggy shampoo, towels.
Any resource. You may need equipment or real estate or a permit. Or capital, which is a fancy word for money. It can come from your savings, a grant, a small business loan, or an investor. And that's it.
What is the business? How does it work? Who is the team? What is the market? Who are the competitors? What's the market strategy? What are the numbers? And what do you need? Whew, that's a lot.
It is. But just think how well you'll understand your business. You'll be able to take charge, make smart decisions, and talk about your business confidently.
Cheers to that. Too much salt?
You put salt in this?
Yeah, for the electrolytes. It's good for post-workout hydration.
Ugh, but terrible for business.
Now that you have watched the video, what are the insights that you have learned from it? Alright, so remember to take down notes Yes, please go along so
Hey,
that you will be
how's
able to understand
business?
or
Terrible. I don't
note
get it.
down
My
the
neighbor
key
Jacob
points
opened
that
up a
you need
lemonade
for
stand and
writing
he's
a
been making
business plan.
tons of money.
Jen, he's like 5 years old.
And he's killing it. Gah!
Maybe there's something else you're good at?
Oh, what? Like I'm just supposed to sit back and wait for my next business venture to go walking by?
I know, sweetums. We'll have to get you cleaned up.
Ugh, this happens every time we go to Mud Park.
There it is. Quick, let's make a business plan.
What? No, come on. I'm not pitching this on TV. This is just a side thing.
Business plans aren't just for big companies. Even if you're just brainstorming, writing a business plan takes your idea and turns it into something you can act on.
Let's do it.
Okay, what is the business?
Dog wash.
Great. Now, how can you say that in a way that shows the value you're creating for people?
It's on the way home. People don't have to worry about getting their house and towels all dirty. And it saves them time.
Awesome. And how does it work?
It's a booth with a washing station, and owners pay me to wash and dry their dog's paws.
Great. Who's the team?
Oh, it's just me right now, but it would be cool to have a second dog washer and a cashier.
Sure. Down the road, you might add an advisor or someone who can help you with legal stuff and money stuff too.
Sweet. What is the market?
Yeah, where does this fit in? Who is it for? And are there enough potential customers to support a business?
Okay, so I'm looking at dog owners who live around here and who walk their dogs at Mud Park.
Lots of research here is good. You want to be an expert in your industry. Like, what percentage of dog walkers carry cash with them?
I have no idea, but I could find out, and that would help me decide which payment options to provide.
Exactly. Some stuff you'll learn along the way, but the more you know about your market, the better you can serve it. Who are your competitors?
No one. Ka-ching!
You can learn a lot by looking at other businesses, whether they're direct competitors, businesses that share your market, or even businesses in a completely different industry that inspire you. Researching the competition helps you identify the things that make your business better.
Yeah!
What's your market strategy? How do you grow your business, and what are the steps along the way?
Ooh, maybe like start with one booth and test it out to get some feedback. I could advertise it at the pet store and the puppy school, then I'd upgrade my booth so I can move it around to clean more dogs and make more money.
And what are the numbers? You don't have revenue yet, but you can still think about your costs and your pricing.
Ah,
And lastly, what do you need?
tubs, a water source, doggy shampoo, towels.
Any resource. You may need equipment or real estate or a permit. Or capital, which is a fancy word for money. It can come from your savings, a grant, a small business loan, or an investor. And that's it.
What is the business? How does it work? Who is the team? What is the market? Who are the competitors? What's the market strategy? What are the numbers? And what do you need? Whew, that's a lot.
It is. But just think how well you'll understand your business. You'll be able to take charge, make smart decisions, and talk about your business confidently.
Cheers to that. Too much salt?
You put salt in this?
Yeah, for the electrolytes. It's good for post-workout hydration.
Ugh, but terrible for business.
So, what is a business plan? Alright, so the idea that you have is correct. Maybe some of you think that you don't need a step-by-step guide to writing a great business plan, or maybe you think you don't need a template for writing a business plan. After all, some entrepreneurs succeed without writing a business plan. But the odds are greater than those entrepreneurs will fail. So, let's first discuss what is the meaning of a business plan. The business plan is a written document prepared by the entrepreneur that describes all the relevant internal and external elements and strategies for starting a new venture. It is an integration of functional plans such as marketing, finance, manufacturing, and human resources. Another definition of a business plan is that it is a document that can convince the reader that the business can produce enough revenue to make a satisfactory profit and therefore attractive as an investment opportunity. Therefore, a business plan is simply your business proposal on how you will make money, not only out of your pocket, but it could be from your investors. Let's get into the point on how to write a business plan. The following is a comprehensive guide to creating a great business plan. What you needed in writing a business plan is, of course, you would need to have a planning. Planning is a process that never ends for a business. It is extremely important in the early stages of any new venture when the entrepreneur will need to prepare a preliminary business plan. Plan may be short-term or long-term, strategic or operational, and that depends upon you. So basically, your business plan can define your goals, determine your objectives to reach your goals, assess resources and make decisions, create contingency plans for managing changes, and rationally assess operational feasibility and financial viability of your business. What are the reasons for writing a plan? First is to serve as a guide that you will follow throughout the life of your business. All lenders and investors require a business plan. Writing a business plan can help you seek investment funding or secure a bank loan. And a business plan is the key to conducting business in the international marketplace. What should be the characteristics of your business plan? First, it needs to persuade potential investors to invest. Remember that not all entrepreneurs have the financial capability to start their own business, and what you needed to start that business is to have investors. Another one is that your business plan should allow readers to assess the profitability and goals of the new venture, provide employees with guidance and direction. It should convince suppliers and customers that the new venture is promising. Another is to clarify the objectives of the new venture. And lastly, create strategic alliances with other business partners. Some of you might be wondering who reads the business plan. The business plan may be read by employees, investors, bankers, venture capitalists, suppliers, customers, advisors, and consultants. There are three perspectives that you should be considering in preparing the plan. First is the perspective of the entrepreneur. Second, the marketing perspective, and then the investor's perspective and value of your business plan. Remember that the business plan is valuable to the entrepreneur, potential investors, or even new personnel who are trying to familiarize themselves with the venture, its goals, and objectives. It also helps determine the reliability venture in a designated market. It provides guidance to the entrepreneur in organizing his or her planning activities, and it also serves as an important tool in helping to obtain financing. Remember, we need to gather investors to finance your business as it grows. Teacher Pinky, how do we present a plan? It is often necessary for an entrepreneur to orally present the business plan before an audience of potential investors. In this typical forum, the entrepreneur would be expected to provide a short, perhaps like 20 minutes or half an hour presentation of the business plan, which you will be doing by the end of the semester or before the semester's end. Remember that using and implementing the business plan is designed to guide the entrepreneur through the first year of operation. Implementation of the strategy contain control point to certain progress and to initiate contingency plan if necessary. Business plan not end up in a drawer somewhere once the financing has been attained and the business is launched. What you need to bear in mind is the measuring plan progress. Entrepreneurs should check the profit and loss statement, cash flows, projections, and information in inventory, production, quality sales, collection of accounts receivable, and disbursement for the previous month. And this will be discussed later in Chapter 5 for our financial plan. Remember that our business plan is our guide for the first year of operation. It could be updated as we go along in our business. Updating the plan, if there will be some changes that are likely to affect the business plan, the entrepreneur should determine what revisions are needed. In this manner, the entrepreneur can maintain reasonable targets and goals and keep the new venture on a course that will increase probability of success. Not all business plan is a success. Remember, what are the reasons why some business plans fails? First, goals set by the entrepreneurs are unreasonable. Second, goals are not measurable. Remember that you have to use SMART. You have to be specific, measurable, it should be attainable, it should be result oriented, and it should be time bound. Next is the entrepreneur has not made a total commitment to the business. You can just not give half of your heart in doing your business. You have to be committed in doing your business. So it will be a success. Another thing is that the entrepreneur has no experience in the planned business. The entrepreneur has no sense of potential threats or weaknesses to the business. No customer need was established for the proposed product or service. Every one of you is now wondering what would be the planning process. So remember that a business plan have its parts. So the first part of the business plan is to have the cover sheet. And then it should contain the table of contents, your executive summary, management and organization, product and service plan, market plan, and financial plan. For the title page or the cover page of our business plan, we will use this cover page. So it should state the business name, your address, and then your phone number, and then the date the plan was prepared, confidentiality statement on the second part, and then the owner's name, address, phone number, web address, or email. But when you are going to submit your business plan to your teacher, you would need to have this cover page. Table of contents are the list of major sections of the plan and the page number where each section can be found. Remember that if you're writing an executive summary, you have to indicate the specific page number for that one. And this page cannot be prepared until the plan is finished. So this is most likely the last part that you'll be doing when you're going to submit your business plan. For the introductory page, you have this example where you have your name and then the address of your business and then the logo and then the year that your business plan was published. Information that we need as we write the business plan. We may obtain resources or information through many sources of information and should focus on marketing, finance, and production. Goals and objectives are defined for the business plan as we're going to discuss it in the later part. And then Internet is a valuable resource of information for entrepreneurs. So to discuss briefly, we're going to discuss on the first chapter the executive summary. Executive summary goes nearby the beginning of the plan but is written last. It provides a short, concise, and optimistic overview of your business that can capture the reader's attention and creates a need to learn more. The executive summary should be no more than 2 pages long, with brief summaries of other sections of the plan. It should include your overview about the company, products and services that it offers, the market, the competition, who are the competitors of your business, and then what are the financial considerations. The executive summary is usually a 3 to 4 pages summarizing the complete business plan, and it includes the business or concept model, Like, how is the business concept or model unique? Who are the individuals starting this business? How will they make money and how much? For the overview, it describes the overall nature of the industry, including sales and other statistics. It includes the trends and demographics and economic, cultural, and governmental influences. A company overview, also known as a company information or a company summary, is an essential part of a business plan. It's an overview of the most important points about your company, your history, management team, location, mission statement, and legal structures. It usually appears after the executive summary in your business plan. So this basically describes your business and how it fits into the industry. The second part of the business plan is the management and organization. This section describes the legal structure, ownership, and the management and staffing requirements of your business. For the management and organization, we would need to include the following: company summary, company legal structure and ownership, organizational plan, vision, mission, objectives, company advantages. Must be discussed for the company profile. First is we have the organization and management, and then we have the products or services. In the organization and management, we have to briefly mention what the business purpose is and what you provide to the customer. And then we also have to identify the legal structure of your business. If it is a sole proprietorship, that means to say it is owned by only one person. And if it is a partnership, if it is a corporation, or an LLC or a limited liability corporation. Organizational plan includes the form of ownership, identification of partners or principal shareholders, authority of principals, management team background, roles and responsibilities of members of the organization. Management usually describes your own experiences, skills, qualifications, and education that will ensure the success of your business. Example, your organization is composed of a personnel management, bookkeeper, inventory control team, your customer service, advertising team, and then it should include your work history and then your professional membership. Identify our team for organization and management. First is we have to know how many employees are needed. We have to prepare our organizational chart. What are the methods of compensations? Hours to be worked, if it's going to be from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. or so on. And then what are the required skills for the business and the specific job descriptions of each team members. Another is we would need to have a specialist. Example, if you're going to have a product for cosmetics, then we would need to have some doctors, and then we would also need to have financial advisors and lawyers. Third is we have the product and service plan. Product or services offerings should be discussed in this chapter. This describes your product or service, how it benefits the customer, and what sets it apart from competitors' offerings. For the product and service plan, we would need to include the purpose of the product or the service, and then the products. What are the advertising and promotion strategies that you have made or prepared? For this part, we would need to describe how you intend to price your products or service. Pricing has to be competitive to attract customers, but high enough to cover costs and generate a profit. What is the purpose of the product or service? So this includes a description of the products or services you are offering or plan to offer, how your products and services will be priced. Remember that for pricing, you have to promote a good pricing which is competitive, and then a comparison of products or services your competitors offer in relation to yours. Sales literature you plan to use, including information about your marketing materials and the role of your website will play in your sales efforts. a paragraph or so on how orders from your customer will be processed or fulfilled, any needs you have in order to create or deliver your products such as up to computer equipment, any intellectual property such as trademarks or legal issues you need to address, and future products or services you plan to offer. For the production plan, we would need to include the manufacturing process. Example, if you're making a Graham balls, what is the procedure or the process in creating the product? And then we would need to have a physical plant if the company is becoming bigger. And then we also need machineries and equipment. What are the necessary equipment that you would need to make this product? And then names of suppliers of raw materials. Operational planning is what happens when a team or department draws from a company-wide strategic plan and puts it under a microscope. So it's future-oriented. It is a map. It maps out department budgets and goals to propel the success of strategic plan. For operational plan, it should include the description of the company's operations, flow of orders for goods and services, and then technology utilization. Usually for the strategic plan that the operation will be proposing, it should be based for the activities that has been done for the next 1 to 3 years. It's composed of the market plan. So, what are the basic steps involved in creating your marketing plan? First is you would need to focus on your target market. Who are your customers? Who will you target? And who makes the decision? So to determine how can best reach potential customers, this should be included in your market plan. Section, you need to demonstrate that you have thoroughly analyzed the target market and that there is enough demand for your product or service to make your business viable. In this section, you would need to include the target market. Target markets for your products or service is your geographic local, and then it describes the need of your product or services. And then we have the marketing strategy, your sales strategy, pricing policies, service trends and weaknesses, market trends, market analysis, and then the summary or your market analysis. You would need to have your market information for your marketing plan or your market plan. Market potential for the product or service. What is the size of your market? Is the product is purchased by both men or women? Or is it highly and less educated people? And what are the areas that must be affected? Marketing plan section, it should include the competition, who are your competitors, your customers, strategies to meet sales goals, and then your market research. The marketing plan customers, it should identify who are your customers, what are the products in the area, and then when are you going to sell your product, where should it be located, why are you making this product, and how are you going to cover the financial costs of your business. Mentioned that we have competitors in the market, so what is the other strategy that you can make so that you will be on top? Remember that for marketing plan, you would need to have your sales strategies. Some malls, they opt for sale every 15th of the month or end of the month when consumers get their salary. So again, for your product, what is the selling price of it? How was it determined, or how was this determined? Is it through the quality, competition, service provided, location, your business costs, perceived value to customer, and what the market will allow? And of course, you have to consider how much profit you will get from your business. Marketing plans sales strategies includes promotional activities that are determined by your target customer. Example, you will have an advertising. You can have it done through a newspaper, radio, TV, yellow pages, billboards, direct mail, flyers, posters, business cards, or website. And then you can also have your sales and promotion if you're going to have sample of your product, reduced price, and then coupons and contests. Publicity. This is very important nowadays that we are in pandemic and then we are now using the social media. So you can have your product features stories and then you should use public relations and then you can have trade shows, networking, and other organization. For the last chapter, we'll be discussing the financial plan. This is very important in making a business plan because this will attract your investors on how much profit or how much revenue they will get because remember that having a business is a risk. Financial plan section is the most important section of the business plan, especially if you need debt financing or want to attract investors. As I've mentioned previously, the financial plan has to demonstrate that your business will grow and be profitable. To do this, you will need to create projected income statements, cash flows, and then balance sheet. For a new business, you would need to have your startup summary, startup funding, then your projected income and loss, and then you would need to have your recommendations. So for a new business, you would also need to have your forecasting, and then a good rule of thumb is to underestimate revenues and overestimate expenses. For the financial plan, it includes the following: the income statement, which shows your projected revenues, expenses, and profit. You have to do this on a monthly basis for at least the first year for a startup business. And then you would need to have your cash flow. The cash flow projection shows your monthly anticipated cash revenues and disbursement of expenses. It is important for demonstrating that you can manage your cash flow and will be a credit risk. And then we have the balance sheet, which is a snapshot, a summary of the assets, liabilities, and equity of your business at a particular point in time. For a startup, this would be on the day the business opens. And then you would also have to take note of the assumptions, sources and uses, break-even analysis, and then the contingent liabilities. Including a break-even analysis will demonstrate to financiers or investors what level of sales you need to achieve to make a profit. Assumptions is spell out conditions assumed when compiling financial statement. It could be the sales volume, pricing structures, average sales amount, number of customers, seasonal trends, specific expenses, owner's drawings or salaries, and then the growth rate of your business. For making a financial plan, you would need to prepare your own budget. This includes sales revenue and expenditures, and then you would need to prepare your financial statement, which will be needed later on for filing of income tax or the business tax. For your financial statements, you would need to have income statement, cash flow projections, balance sheet, break-even analysis, sources, and application of funds. So we have there your sources of funds. So it could be your owner's cash investment. So that means to say it comes from your pocket. And then loans, if you have borrowed money from another people, or it could be a borrowed money from the bank. And then your uses of funds, it could be for the inventory of your products or supplies, renovations to facility, equipment, furniture, your machinery, building, and then the working capital. Cash flow statement. So your cash flow statement should include the beginning cash balance and then your cash receipts, which are the sales for the day or for the month, and then your loan proceeds, and then the equity investment, which should be the total of cash receipt if you're going to add it up. And then we would need to have your cash disbursements, So cash disbursements are from your materials purchases, your rent expense, your payroll, your taxes, advertising, and etc. The break-even analysis is based on the average of the first year figures for total sales by values and then operating expenses. So these are presented as per unit revenue, per unit cost, and fixed costs. And these conservative assumptions make for a more accurate estimate of real risk. For the balance sheet part, it indicates three important items. It should have the asset, liabilities, and equity or capital. So for example, here we have the pro forma balance sheet. Remember that your total assets should be equal to your total liabilities and capital. Just like, for example, the total asset of for the first year is 148,781, and then the total liabilities and capital is 148,781. So to measure your net worth, you would need to subtract your total liabilities from your total assets so that you will have your profit or losses. Exhibit section, it contains any detailed information needed to support other sections of the plan. So this part includes your resume, your product pictures, letters, market research data, leases or contracts if you have any, and then the price list from suppliers. So before I present to you an example on how you're going to present your business plan, let's have a recap. Again, what's the first part of the chapter 1? Very good. It includes the executive summary. And then chapter 2 is about? Alright, good job. That includes management and organization. Chapter 3 is the product and service plan. Chapter 4 is your marketing plan or your market plan. Very good. And then lastly, we have your financial plan. Here's your presentation sample. Now that you'll be presenting your business plan to your teacher, you would need to prepare a PowerPoint presentation. So it should be more on pictures and you should memorize or know your product. So for the first part, we have the name of your business. So example, I have Tranquility Spa. Remember that your executive summary is composed of 3 or 4 pages. So here on the example, I only presented a short description of the executive summary. For chapter 2, I'll be discussing the management and organizational plan. As I've mentioned earlier that your management and organization includes the objectives of your business. Here is an example. Your mission statement, and then your vision statement. So here, Tranquility Spa is a place where minds, bodies, and spirits are nourished, where your well-being is our first priority and our reputation for the highest quality professional spa services assures you the best treatment and experience. So here, I have cited the keys to success of my business. This is about the company and business advantage. So here you have what is your business all about, and then your competitors. And then I have here a photo of our team. This is just an example. This is an example of your organizational chart. So you can have your CEO or the Chief Executive Officer, and then you have your manager, receptionist, therapist, and then your janitors. Product service plan includes your services. So example, you have there the quick results facial, oxygenation, mud therapy, warm stone, express, and Swedish massage. So you could also include your process. And then this can include your advertising and promotion. So how are you going to advertise? Is it to through public relation, online, or you're going to use the social media. This is another example of advertising and promotion. So we have now the market plan. So we have here your target market. This is just an example of presentation. Since I have identified already my target market, then I have here the number of my preferred demographic. You would also need to identify your market size. And then what is your market share? Example that you have a target of 25,000 people living in the city. And then what is your market share? Is it 10%? And etc. Here I have the example of your market analysis summary. So you may identify what is the problem of your company and then what will be your solution so that you can perform your marketing strategy. You will need to also identify who are your competitors. So this is how you're going to present your competition analysis. For the market trends, you would need to identify what are the trends now in the market for spas. So now we would need to discuss the last chapter, and that's your financial plan. So in this section, you would need to discuss the break-even analysis of your business. So you may include the sales and distribution of your business. Example, if you have 4 branches, what are the distribution channels? You may want to include your predicted growth. And then you may also present your balance sheet. That includes your asset, liabilities, and equity. You may present this one as well in another sheet in Excel. This is an example of your projected profit and losses. So for the last part of the financial plan, you would need to have recommendations. So you would need to highlight what are the importance of investing in your business. So you may say that your cash flow projections are critical to your success. It's because it shows the positive return of investment in the next 2 years, and etc. For your appendices, you may include the following: your resume, your flyers, and etc. So thank you so much for listening. And again, this is Teacher Pinky saying keep safe and wear your mask. Keep smiling and have a great day.